I want to talk a little bit about the power of humor. Now, for some, church and humor, they just don't go together. You obviously have never been to church with me when I'm trying to hold it together because something funny happened, right, Max? And there is so much humor in church, in spirit, in a believe God himself. I want to share a few interesting facts about humor. At least I hope they're going to be interesting. If they're not interesting, this is going to be a really long 20 minutes for you. But let's hope for the best. The remote is not working because some little gremlin got in there and ate that ability. So I'm going to count on Brian to advance the slides. Preschool age children laugh an average of 400 times per day. Okay, what about us? The average adult laughs an average of 17 times a day. So what happened? What on earth happened? First of all, you need to know that you have permission to laugh today. Do you understand? It is okay. This is supposed to be humorous. And despite everything that may be going on, whether it's in this church or in your lives, this is your respite. This is your time out to enjoy all the health, mentally and physically, benefits that laughter brings. So I'll just give you a heads up when it's time to change those slides up, guys. And laughter relaxes the whole body. A good, hearty laugh relieves physical tension and stress, leaving your muscles relaxed for up to 45 minutes afterward, just from laughing. Next slide, please. Laughter boosts the immune system, Laughter decreases stress hormones and increases immune cells and infection-fighting antibodies, thus improving your resistance to disease. I actually had a customer of mine was a nurse, and I just thought she was a funny lady. She was just a hoot. Her name was Carol O'Flaherty. Actually, I believe it still is Carol O'Flaherty. I believe she's still of this world. We just have lost touch. But what was interesting is Carol was using a lot of humor in her patient care. I was actually searching on Amazon a couple days ago to see if I could get a hold of the puppet, which is still for sale there, of a nun with boxing gloves. And so this little nun is there with boxing, and it's just so completely ridiculous. You really need to see it to believe it. But she would go into patients' rooms and speak through the nun and have her box and hit them. And, well, you need to get better, And her patients were doing markedly better from laughing. And they were really looking forward to her visits. The doctors started asking her, what's your secret? What's going on here? And studies began to get employed, researching the power of humor in healing. She now makes a living traveling the country. I actually got her booked at Vanderbilt University to come and talk to the medical staff about how important it is for your patients to laugh. Next slide, please. Laughter triggers the release of endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Endorphins promote an overall sense of well-being and can even temporarily relieve pain. Next. Laughter protects the heart. Laughter improves the function of blood vessels and increases blood flow, which can help protect against a heart attack and other cardiovascular problems. Is this of interest to anyone? This is good stuff. Next. So here's a question. Does God have a sense of humor? I have been told by somebody actually close to me who's rather evangelical and traditional that this talk is blasphemous. God's not funny. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you ever had those mornings? I can remember one in particular. I get out of bed and I caught the very corner of the bed. The first thing I did was stub my toe. Bam, I mean really hard. And I said, "Oh, golly gee whiz." No, I didn't. And the first thing I thought was, oh, it's going to be one of those days. And I got in the bathroom and I'm putting toothpaste on the toothbrush. And somehow the whole glob of toothpaste hits the floor. Ah, man. And I cleaning that up and I come up and I conk my head on the edge of the vanity. Boom. Well, now I am mad. And I'm just determined this is going to be a crappy day. And guess what? It was. It absolutely was. And time again, I caught myself saying things like, "Why does this always happen to me?" Well, now I'm at the age where I hear people say that and go, ooh, I know. Pick me, I'll tell you. Next slide, please. I want to tell you about my dad. My dad was 6'1", big 100% Irish guy. His name was Frederick Daniel O'Shea, and naturally they called him Ted. I don't know where Ted came from. I still don't know to this day where Ted came from. But Ted O'Shea was a really interesting guy. He wore a long trench coat. Of course, we grew up in Massachusetts where it was cold 9 months of the year. So he almost always had this big, long trench coat and his hat and his big old Cadillac Seville. The Seville back in the years when it had the trunk that sloped down like some weird missile or something. And so Dad had an uncle that was in a nursing home in a little Mayberry RFD style town. And he parked his big old Cadillac right at about noontime when it's kind of busy with people on their rush hour, their lunch hour rather. And so my dad stops, locks the door, and traffic stopped to let him go because it's that kind of town, right? He tips his hat, as he's known to do, and he steps forward. Oof! The back of his trench coat was in the door. And so, oof! His keys flew out of his hand into the street, out of his reach. So now the traffic's waiting to go. They're waiting for him to cross the street, and and he can't reach his keys. Now, you're watching this happen. You're calm. You're younger. My dad was 82 when this happened. You're thinking, well, just take the coat off and pick up your keys. Stop. You're 82. It's rush hour. You're embarrassed. He's like, I don't know what to do. Now, here's a moment where people could start honking, get mad. He could be angry or upset. My dad, all of a sudden, started giggling like a child. And he's realizing how completely ridiculous this looks. And a woman parked here, the head of the line, put her car in park and got out and came up and got his keys, and she's cracking up. She's dying laughing. She unlocks his car, lets him out. Now my dad looks around and all the other drivers are laughing, and she hugs him. They don't know each other. She hugs, they hug, they're both laughing, but they're still waiting. My dad tips his hat and crosses the street with his keys, and they're tooting and waving. Do you see the change, the shift? My dad chose to see the absurdity of the situation and poke a little bit of fun at himself. Not in a self-effacing, oh, I'm stupid kind of a way, just all right, this is pretty funny. How's this going to end? And as a result of my dad's energy, the entire situation shifted. I got news for you. You have that power. in every moment that something happens, to find something humorous, something good, and display that and put that energy out there. Just a matter of whether or not you're going to choose to do that. There was a small town somewhere in the Midwest that had a new business open up, and they were not happy about it. The town commission got together and tried to put a stop to it. They tried to pull the town's license. They didn't like this one bit. Next slide, please. It was an adult video store. They tried everything to shut this place down, but it was still going. And a lot of the townspeople of this small conservative town did not like it. They tried picketing. They tried, blocking their driveway. They tried all these harsh things. And finally, somebody at the local Baptist church got an idea, and they leased the land next door and erected this. And that made all the difference. The store went out. It's now probably a Dollar General or something, right? So, and that sign led me to start looking into church signs, church reader boards. We have one here in front, right? So here's a good one that I thought was worthy of mention. Don't let worries kill you. Let the church help. Yeah. Okay, next one was just clever, not necessarily hilarious, but prayer, wireless access to God with no roaming fee. I just like it. Now, this next place is a real honest-to-God church. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Hang on. So this church had a theft, and they were angry about it. Whoever stole our mower, God will get you. And I'm guessing with that attitude, they probably had some more theft, right? Because, yeah, you know how it works. Okay, so this is a real church. Where do you go to church? Little Hope. I don't know. I would have probably considered something different. Again, this is not hilarious. This is just cute. Next one. This is a sign from God. The next one is something to actually worthy of contemplating. What if God asked you for a sign? There's a whole Sunday morning talk or workshop, right? Seriously, we could actually have some fun with that. Next one is just, again, something I found sort of funny. Do not read this sign under penalty of law. Okay, this led me to church bulletins. And these are allegedly really bulletins. For those of you who have children and don't know it, we have a nursery downstairs. That's why having another set of eyes look things over before you send it out is good. Oh, wow, where'd that come from? Who the hell knew? Okay, this is especially good for my musical friends here in the audience. Next, at the evening service tonight, the sermon topic will be, what is hell? Come early and listen to our choir practice. Oh, that's just not nice. But maybe I'm low self-esteem support group. Back. Oh yeah, it's okay. Go ahead. Low self-esteem support group will meet Thursday at 7. Please use the back door. Maybe they go to Little Hope Baptist Church. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay. Next one, not nice again. Weight Watchers will meet at 7 p.m. at the First Presbyterian Church. Please use the large double doors at the side entrance. Hey! Now, this next church had a spiritual leader named Dr. Hargraves, Hargraves, and they loved him. They put an announcement after he'd been sick. God is good. Dr. Hargraves is better. Remember, admin, another set of eyes, please. Everybody reads things quite differently. It's like the time, I used to send out these postcards when I was in the band, and the postcard just said, public performance schedule, and it would have the upcoming month of gigs that I was playing at, where you could come see me. The public performance schedule. So I sent out 300 or 400 of these, and a friend of mine took one quick look at it and went, oh my God, you didn't send this. And I was missing the L from public. True story. It was really embarrassing, but the place was packed after that. Just saying. This is a great announcement. The peacekeeping meeting scheduled for today has been canceled due to a conflict. And lastly, there was a young couple that went to this church for years. They wanted to announce their engagement. And so, or their marriage, rather. Irving Benson and Jesse Carter were married on October 24th in the church. So ends a friendship that began in their school days. Well, that's kind of sad. And go to the next slide. Some of you probably know that I've paid the bills for the last, oh my goodness, 40-something years selling pianos. And so I've done all sorts of events and special things all across the country. But I had a dad moment, if you will, way back, it's got to be 20 years ago or more at this point. We were at a big university auditorium full of pianos. The place was unbelievable. They brought in these pianos from all over there, and they were having this huge liquidation sale. And so we would meet customers and kind of walk them through, show them a few things, ask a few questions, get to know them, zero in on the piano they want. Well, about that time, they started redesigning these pianos so that when you close the lid right here, this part that covers the keys, instead of slamming down like that, there are these really cool shock absorbers. And so it would just go and close very gently. And so the first time I saw one of those, I thought it was just the greatest idea. No little kids would get their fingers hurt. This is so cool, brilliant. So I got to show everybody. You know, they could be there just asking directions to the next Starbucks or something. No, come here, you got to see this fall board. It's so cool. And what I would do is I'd put my fingers there, and then I would grab the key cover and push down with all my might. And they'd jump like, oh, and it would just go, and I'd take my hand out at the last minute. Great, yeah, yay, I'm showing this to everybody. I'm on about my 15th customer now. The lady and her daughter is 11 or 12, right around there, that tweenish age. And she's taking lessons, and it's, she's been on the keyboard, it's time for a piano, all this kind of stuff. And the first thing I say is, hey, watch this, because we're going right by that piano. Watch this. And they're right next to me, right? And I'm at the wrong piano. Now, it's funny, but look at it from their point of view. We just met this man. We don't know him. And he says, watch this. And the best part of this whole morning was this. The little girl, who was kind of an aloof, tween-age person, grabbed her mom's leg and like, what is wrong with this man? Oh my God, that hurt. But I started laughing hysterically And then they all of a sudden realized, okay, there must be something funny going on here. They started laughing. I, through my laughter, explained myself, and they ended up buying a really nice piano, and we stayed in touch, and they were great people. But it was the moment, again, I had an opportunity to just see the humor in the absurdity. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in our lives that we could just say to Spirit, okay, maybe you're having a little fun with me. And I think that it is our response in that exact moment that determines the outcome. Remember that ridiculous scenario where I, came up and hit my head, and it was just a snowball of negativity all day long because I stayed mired in that crap. That was my choice. But to find the humor and the levity and actually look around whatever your version or vision of God is, right? For me, it's my ancestors and all those who crossed over. It's just everything there is. It's love. And I just go, okay, that was funny, but there must be, I need to get there. I'm going to be running late. I got to go. Where are my keys? Can I please have my keys? Because you can't find them anywhere. And if you're really that calm and you ask nicely, there's a pretty good chance you'll turn and look exactly where they are and pick them up. And then be sure to say, thank you. Awesome. I appreciate it. There's a lot of humor in the world. There's a lot of pain in the world. And I'm not suggesting that in the face of pain or dark times, you just laugh it off. I know you better. You're unity peeps. You care deeply. You care maybe to a fault sometimes. You are empaths. I get it. So I know you want to place the humor carefully. Because honestly, I had one board member reach out and say, not so sure about the humor thing because there's a little bit of unrest and discomfort and some disagreement in our community right now. And that's when I said, all the more reason we're going to do this. Because we need to be together on this whole thing, this whole journey, this whole next level up in what unity of Nashville is going to be. There's going to be a lot of love. There's going to be a lot of creating. And if we choose it, there's going to be a lot of laughs. I hope y'all are a part of it. Because I love you, and I love being here, and I appreciate you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.